nerds, and my cat just arrived. Anyway, wow, holy crap, like 26-minute long video to talk over, but I guess like a sort of longer the better, a little bit at least, just because 9 minutes or 10 minutes even is just way too short amount of time to talk over these speed arts. And oh my gosh, I got a lot of furry and hairy friends around because my dog is nearby making noises. It's pretty messy back here with a bunch of paper laying around and old stuff and everything. Anyway, yeah, I made this drawing. I finished it last night at the time I'm recording this audio. I called it Lost to the Sea, as implied by the title, or at least the slated title I'm gonna title this video as. And, yeah, I decided to, well, I don't know what I was about to talk about there. But yeah, this is the video process of it, and, yeah, oh my gosh, my brother was just walking by, and it's kind of embarrassing talking all flamboyantly over my stuff with people walking about, able to hear in, but, so yeah, this is the video for it, and, usually when I did the commentaries, I would just, wait days to do commentary, mostly because, you know, like, often the videos end up being long anyways, but I wanna do commentary, and then it takes a few days just for me to find the motivation to, talk over videos where I have the potential to strain my voice, so, you know, that's pleasant. But I'd say, you know what, I'm just gonna do it right away, you know, just like hours after the piece was actually completed, because, you know, I want to get it over with, you know. So anyway, lately I've been, sketching with the Ilya Toljikov, Pro Shade brush, which is which is what I usually use to, for the very, very first sketch lines for my drawings. But as you saw at the very beginning of this particular video, I used the normal default HB pencil brush to do the very, very first sketch lines that don't include the blue background tone. I don't know, like, this drawing, I'm gonna admit, is, like, probably from months ago, really. I very first started it months ago, and then it remained that, you can see work in progress screenshots on, my website, which are freely accessible. Doesn't take supporter-only content to see it, no payment to see it, but yeah, as you can see in, like, the work in progress section gallery part of the website I set up, you know, where it was just like where they were practically like, not stick figures, not at all stick figures, but it's like, where they were, I don't know, just that plain, like, you know, no details to it, and it was obvious that part of it was in the HB pencil brush, and the lines right there, the squiggly lines right there, were done in the Pro Shade brush, and I don't know which Pro Shade brush, because there are a couple that look relatively similar to that, but those lines that I use for guidelines nowadays, so yeah, so the brush I use currently for the very, very, very first sketch lines does look quite different than the lines made by the HB pencil brush, which, since this was from months ago, really, very first started months ago, I changed sketching habits slightly since then, so, you know, and, you know, I started drawing, like, you know, it was just gonna be the 4 guys, but it's like, you know what, I want to draw more, I want to draw seaweed, I want to draw mollusks, I want to draw barnacles, I want to draw sea creatures, you know, and then I got so far, and I can't believe I almost forgot to add in a sea turtle, which you just saw me add in, which is, if you look up the actual story that these, from the people that these characters are based on, it's based on the case of R versus Dudley and Stephens, and if So yeah, the characters in this particular drawing are named, the guy on the right who's standing is named the human one, is named Hickory Pierce Dudley, and the top left standing human one is Hugh Williams, and the bottom left kneeling one is Tucker Nuck Pim Tuckett, and the last human, the gnarly looking one, is Richard Paca, their cabin boy. But yeah, the story that inspired these particular iterations, or the characters in this drawing, are off of R versus Dudley and Stephens. Wow, British accent slipping in, but yeah, and it's based on that story, and if you read the story, and if you know the Richard Paca coincidence and Richard Paca and boat's coincidence, you know that Richard Paca, the cabin boy in the Mianette case, was killed and then subsequently cannibalized and all that grody stuff. And even in the story by Edgar Allan Poe, the most famous case, that noteworthy case of the Richard Paca coincidence, like in Edgar Allan Poe's fictional novel version of it, and its only completed novel, he made a character, a mutineer named Richard Paca, and then that Richard Paca was murdered and then cannibalized. But then decades later, in 1884, in the R vs. Dudley and Stephens case, two of the guys, named Thomas Dudley, the captain, and Edwin Stephens, they decided to murder and then eat their cabin boy. So yeah, the coincidence right there, jarring coincidence anyway. But yeah, and but in the original story, I almost lost track. In the original story, they also caught and ate a sea turtle before they killed and ate Parker. But so yeah, then I decided to add a sea turtle, and I can't believe I almost forgot to do that. And swordfish and dolphins, because who doesn't love dolphins? And also swordfish are not often seen, I feel, in the drawing art, I don't see them all that often in drawings and paintings, and stuff. And so yeah, it's like a underrated creature to draw, Anyway, what else to talk about? I noticed lately that I tend to go on tangents sometimes, you may have just noticed, I was, I could have just immediately just cut to the chase and just talked about the turtle and how it served, purpose in the All vs. Dudley and Stephens case. I could have, broke it down way quicker than that, just in a nutshell version, but I went on about a little bit talking, and I think it was a little bit off topic, I spoke a few more details than I needed to, other than just getting the point across that they ate a turtle too. But I don't know, I noticed that lately I go on tangents. Well, I think they're tangents, I don't know. I'm not really proud of that, but that I go on tangents in a way, I want to talk about something, but then I end up going on, saying more and more information that's either not relevant to the point I wanted to get across, or just, completely different, or I just add in way more than necessary details and stuff. Days ago, somebody came to my house and they brought up the term schizophrenia. I might have mentioned this before, but, that was a shocker, and I hope, to an extent, that's somewhat of a misdiagnosis, it's not that bad, But then again, I shouldn't word it that way, because, people with schizophrenia are, stigmatized, and, people make snap judgments thinking it's automatically bad, or it's all the same, but obviously it's not, But it's to an extent, I hope it's not bad. I hope I'm not losing my mind or nothing. And it does, the age of onset, or when it often shows up in adults, it's into adulthood, ages of 17 and onwards, Well, hopefully it's not bad. I don't know, they brought it up, and my mom with using far less straight to the point ways of saying it, more like cognitive and other things that aren't like that don't bring up like other mental conditions that are often stigmatized. And even I, admittedly, when people mention that word schizophrenia, admittedly, even to me, sometimes the things that automatically pop into mind are like, you know, characters like the original Edward Richtofen character, in which, you know, they had schizophrenia and they were crazy and they had hallucinations and auditory hallucinations. They heard voices and did crazy things because of that. You know, that, like, even I admittedly, like, tend to think that way unfairly about schizophrenia when I first hear it on the spot, you know, but so yeah, I thought of that, and I was kind of freaked out in a bad way, and I hope, to an extent, it's not anything bad, all that bad, but, like, I'm happy right now, which is always good, and, I'm enjoying myself, and that's always amazing, and I'm grateful for that, but it's, like, but knowing that I might have something that, like, interferes with daily life, you know, like, in God knows how many possible ways, negative or good, you know, but it's, like, you know, I just hope it's not anything bad, you know. Anyway, talking way too much about other things and not art. And not the art piece of note. I don't know if there's anything noteworthy or anything new to talk about with this part of the drawing process, you know, just adding multiply shading, which I've been doing a lot with my personal works, you know. You know, like my personal works that don't necessarily feature Aaron Jeffcoat, but it's like, yeah, that part of my process, which I like doing, you know. I also got another drawing, which is, I don't think I've shown it on YouTube or mentioned it on YouTube yet, but it's like, a redraw of that one drawing I did, like, during mid-2018, aka the worst year of my life thus far, in my opinion, through my perspective at least, mentally and art-wise. But, yeah, I did a drawing, like, mid-2018, and I called the drawing Overlook. It can be seen easily for free on, my website, which I always link nowadays in the description. You know, and, there's a post, like, I don't know, it's just put up on my website in the main portfolio website, like the second image in the main portfolio page part of it, in the art gallery part, but it's like yeah. And that's from, like, obviously I kept saying, like, mid-2018, you know, before I came across my current drawing style. My current drawing style of how I draw hair, color, draw eyes, and everything. So, yeah. And, I wanted to redraw that drawing and, see how many things improved, you know, even in terms of coloring and anatomy and, like, you know, just, you know, compared to, like, the current drawing style I utilize right now. And, oh my gosh, so far, I haven't finished it yet, but it's, like, I still need to add the multiply shading and the rest of the detailing drawing process that I use in my drawings lately, but it's, like, yeah, I already see, like, a lot of improvement thus far, and, like, the current state of the way it is, like, I guess it could be considered, not cell shading, flat colors in the flat color stage, you know, without any shading added to it yet. Because for some odd reason, I don't know if how many times I may have mentioned this on this YouTube account about that drawing, the original of it, the original Overlook drawing, was just flat colors. Like, even back when I did it, I was at the time planning to add even more shading to it than what is seen on it right now. Like, I was gonna try to practice more and more shading on the original, but then, yeah, for some odd reason, I accidentally, I did it in Clip Studio Paint, and in that drawing program, it's possible to, like, have, to create, like, a folder that has many files in it at once, like like if you wanted to create like a sequence comic, then you could like choose how many pages you want it to be or to have in one particular file, you know. And I usually added multiple pages because I plan to make it into a manga with just black and white and just line art and everything, you know, just monochromatic, like, you know, how you see in a lot of manga, you know. I originally was gonna go that route, but then I was like, no, but then I started to enjoy coloring my work more, and I was like, no, I just want to color my work, see the characters fully colored in pretty much every page that they're seen in, but, you know, so yeah, so that original Overlook drawing was gonna be, like, one of the, like, bonus writer colored pieces in the graphic novel back then, but then, for some odd reason, I remember liking it when I first did it too, and yet I decided to delete the entire file that contained all the pages, the multi-paged file, and, or document, or folder thingy, and with it, I accidentally deleted the original file to the original Overlook drawing from 2018, and I remember, like, kicking myself over it, but then, thankfully, as evidenced on my website, thankfully, I was one of those artists even back then who would post a crazy amount of, like, work in progress shots, so I took a screenshot of the original drawing, and, thankfully it existed for me to put it up on my website and other places where it can be easily seen. Even though I could have finished it at the time, like, I could have went back in and added shading, like, you know, like in programs like Clip Studio Paint and others, you can, like, rasterize the image, in which, you would still be able to draw on it and everything, even without features like that, without rasterized features like that. You could still color and add shading over it, you know, and adjust it and everything, but I didn't want to do that, you know, because then I was getting really big into, like, a drawing in the app Procreate, which is also the program that allowed me to draw this bad boy in this video in its entirety, and I love that app. So, you know, like, I was getting more into, like, drawing on the iPad and everything, and it was like, like, I don't know, like, I just wanted to branch out, like, I don't know, I just wanted to step away from just, using just a tablet, you know, like, my iPad is, like, it's, like, a lot more portable than the tablets I have and do own right now. Like, I decided, you know what, like, I don't know, my iPad is a lot more personal, and usually for my main computer that could be hooked up to the, like, normal drawing tablets that I have, that need to be hooked up and wired and everything, the main computer that I use, like, it's just for fun. Like, I know drawing is for fun for me right now, but it's, like, on my own terms, but the computer for me right now, it's just a lot more of a place to watch YouTube videos and stuff like that, and other stuff, and, so it's like, you know, like, and the iPad right now is way more for drawing and editing videos and putting these speed art videos together, you know, and although the iPad can obviously hold apps like, Instagram and everything, I was like, you know what, no, I already have my phone, which can hold and function with the same app, and function pretty well. So it's like, you know what, no, I like the iPad solely for drawing right now. For digital drawing, that is. I've been doing a lot of drawing with, in my sketchbook with, that are, you know, just pencil and paper drawings, you know, but just sketchbooks, not necessarily on a loose piece of paper right now. I even have a full-out sketchbook for just my thumbnail doodles, those rough little thumbnail doodles to plan out blueprint illustrations or stuff like that, you know. So yeah, like, and I've been drawing a lot in this one sketchbook, and I'd like to make a sketchbook tour of it at one point, even of the one that has a lot of thumbnails, even if the thumbnail one and the current sketchbook I'm using contains spoilers or whatever, but, you know. Even if it contains that, I want to do sketchbook tours of it. I also love how nowadays, sketchbook videos are all, on YouTube at least, are always titled sketchbook tour, like they had the word tour in it. And back when sketchbook videos became really popular, I remember at least, they were just entitled My Sketchbook. They were just entitled My Sketchbook. They didn't have the word tour in it. But nowadays, it's like, almost like among the artist community, like a norm, almost. So, like, every artist, titled their sketchbook videos, My, Sketchbook Tour, or My Sketchbook Tour. They just add the word tour nowadays. I like that. That's kind of cool, and how an example of how times change, or time flies, and things change over time. Pretty cool, pretty interesting how that changes. I also remember on Twitter, since the video is kind of slow, in a way, like 20 minutes. I guess I have a little bit of time to talk about random things, and I remember a time, the time when Twitter decided to double the amount of characters per tweet, and it was I remember people, even like J.K. Rowling and Stephen King of all people, complaining about it, thinking it's more poetic to just see how much of a message you can put in, what was it, 120, 140 characters, which is not that many, even for a paragraph, but it's I remember at the time, those big authors of all people were just talking about, oh, it's more poetic to just have short, powerful messages in just 140 characters and not 200 plus, and it was they were complaining at the time, right when it happened, but then I don't know exactly what their sentiments about it now would be. But I don't know, at first, for me, it was definitely, an automatic change. I mean, kind of weird at first, but it's nowadays, it gives off the impression it was that way the entire time, it changed that much to the point we've all or a lot of us have gotten used to it. So, it's just, normal nowadays, but, obviously, right when it happened, it was so weird, Oh my gosh, my voice is starting to weird out, but with YouTube changes, I remember everybody was complaining about the then new comment system on YouTube, when it happened, what was it, 2013, when the comments changed, the comments no longer had, this comment received too many negative votes and everything, and there wasn't, just, top comments, it could, the top comments could be narrowed down to, top 2, top comments, I think that's how it was, and, this comment received too many negative votes and stuff like that, how it was, then, and before that, but then it changed, and, every YouTuber I liked was oh, this comment section is terrible, but I don't know what those same people would feel about it nowadays, but it's you weren't able to pin, your favorite comment to the top, or any comment to the top, or, put that little heart symbol to comments, the creator could put heart symbols next to noteworthy comments, they couldn't do that before 2013, and then it happened, and it was everyone that, I thought was cool was oh, this is terrible, YouTube, change it back, but nowadays, I don't know what percentage of people would wish for it to be the old way it was in 2012 and before. I don't know. It's all a matter of opinion, but, just that, thing, when, major things change, social media, obviously, I don't know, admittedly, I haven't been using Tumblr nearly as much because of that, adult content jazz fixed to it. It's understandable their motivation behind it. They didn't want CP shared on it and everything, but it's but at the same time, it was to this day, I don't quite use Tumblr nearly as much as I did before that controversy change thing. And it was I don't know what people think of it nowadays. I'm sure, a lot of people, that did post, not safe for work stuff. I'm sure, a majority of those people, at least, that were focused on that stuff, on that type of adult content, have stopped using it, deleted their profiles, no longer active there, that kind of jazz, but I don't know, people like me who don't necessarily deal with that kind of not safe for work part, people like me who just post their art, and it's not necessarily the part of the porn side of social media, doesn't post or actively view that kind of artwork, that kind. For me, who just posted neutral artwork, I guess, or innocent artwork, it wasn't like the biggest problem in the world, but I still don't use it quite as much as I did before, Oh my gosh, have I really been talking for over 20 minutes now? Still doesn't feel like that was enough time to talk, really. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I really love this drawing, and I apologize if I didn't talk about the drawing itself nearly as much as I probably should have to your guys' liking, for all the people who do choose to watch it other than me, but it's like, I think I talked a satisfying amount enough that, I'm satisfied, and to the point I do need a break to save my voice and calm my voice down, But anyway, yeah, I really love this drawing, and, thank you guys for watching, and supporting my art, and for subscribing, and, I'll see you next time in whatever video I make. Bye!